sound of distant thunder, a low hum, then silence. It was the night the sky turned blue, not from the stars, but from death itself. April the 26th, 1986. Chernobyl, Ukraine. A city asleep, unaware that in a few seconds its heart would stop beating. At 1:23 a.m., reactor number 4 exploded, tearing open the air, spilling radiation like invisible fire. Everyone ran, except him. Music rises slowly, tragic strings. His name was Dr. Valery Alexeyevich Legasov, a scientist, a doctor of truth. But this is not just his story. It's the story of every soul who chose to stay when running was easier. वो नहीं भागा जब हर कोई भाग रहा था. उसने कहा, if we leave, who will help them? Inside the hospital, hundreds of patients were burning from the inside, radiation eating away at their bodies. The doctors knew what that meant. Every breath near them was death. But still, he stayed. Then, the hospital in Pripyat had turned into a battlefield. Greater than, but there were no soldiers, only patients and doctors fighting an unseen enemy. Greater than, the air outside was poison. The walls glowed faintly at night, not from light, but from radiation. Greater than, one by one, nurses and staff began to collapse. Their hands blistered, their skin turned gray. The chief medical officer ordered everyone to leave. Heartbeat sound, slow. But one man refused. Hours turned into a blur. No sunrise, only the pale glow of radiation outside the window. Soft jello builds. The doctor's hands shook. His breath grew shallow. But he kept moving. One bed, one patient, one heartbeat at a time. Footsteps echoed through an empty hallway. He knew the truth. Every minute he spent inside that ward was borrowed time. Outside, the evacuation was almost done. Buses filled with families, soldiers shouting names, and in that hospital, only silence. खामोशी में सिर्फ उसके कदमों की आवाज थी और मौत का इंतजार. Narrator. When the last nurse fainted, he lifted her himself, carried her to the ambulance, stepped back, and closed the door. He never went back out. Soft wind, distant siren. They found him days later, sitting by a patient's bed. His mask was still on, his notes still in his hand. He had written only one line before he died. They needed me. Usne likha. Unhen meri zarurat thi. He became another name on a long list. No medals, no monuments. Just a memory buried beneath the ashes of Chernobyl. Long pause, then a single piano note. But even today, when the Geiger counters click in that silent zone, they say his spirit still walks those empty halls, softly. Because some heroes don't run, they stay. Silence. He looked at his patients, firefighters, engineers, young men who tried to stop the fire with bare hands. He said quietly, they came here to save us. How can I leave them now? Usne kaha, main inko akela kaise chhod दूं? Then passes through broken windows. Narrator. He wrapped his face with a torn mask, gloves that no longer protected anything, and walked back into the ward. Greater than, outside, people were evacuating, children crying, buses leaving, the city dying. But in that small room, he began his rounds, one last time. Greater than every pulse he checked, brought him closer to death. Greater than every heartbeat he saved, was a piece of his own fading life. हर सांस में मौत थी और हर इंसान में जिंदगी.